welcome back to an episode of We Are in the Throne Room, or at least Grey Keep. And let's do some diplomatic stuff.
What's your take on our companions?
Why?
Because I value your opinion.
Sorry, but I don't like these kind of conversations. I'm sure you're capable of forming your own opinions.
Did you hear back from the Black Company's leader yet? We still need to find information on those rogue sleepers.
Not yet, but that doesn't surprise me. The man likes to take his time. I suggest we deal with the other matters first.
I'll be going.
Sure.
What's your take on our companions?
Oh, so we're doing the gossip thing? Sure, why not? Who?
What's your opinion of Kaiawu?
Kaiawu? He reminds me of myself a little.
Why's that?
Well, he's clearly looking for his place in the world. I admire his strength, though. Defying his father, the chieftain of the tribe, and thus theoretically turning his back on his people. Takes guts to do that. Other than that, he's quite withdrawn and doesn't seem very interested in anything outside of his Jakku. Apart from you, that is.
From me?
Come on. Don't tell me you haven't noticed. You fascinate him. On a personal and, bodily level.
Good to know.
I'm surprised you didn't notice, but no reason to worry. I don't think Kaiawu is the kind of man who'd make a move on his own anyway. Either way, anyone else?
I'll see you around.
Yep.
Yes, General?
Interesting. What do you think of the others?
Everyone is so experienced and well-traveled. You included. At times I feel quite small.
Everyone starts somewhere.
True. Though I feel I have a lot of catching up to do. Lady Elathiel offered to show me around Greyfell. I think she is worried I will be robbed.
Maybe she doesn't want you to get lost.
That's true too. Why does the Queen need so many towers?
I'd like to learn more about the Aliani.
Sure. I'd be happy to tell you more about my people.
I noticed you mention your ancestors a lot. So they play a big role in your society?
We honor them, of course. But it's a lot more than that. When one of the Aliani dies, they take their place among the ancestors. We call it the Great Journey. Imagine every Aliani to ever exist in an unending journey across the steppes. There is no higher honor than for your spirit to join that.
If that's the afterlife for Aliani, what happens to everyone else?
I don't really know. Our traditions only cover the Aliani. Maybe their spirits join something similar.
Even outcasts?
Oh, no. Except for them. When one is made an outcast, they forfeit their place on the steppes and among the ancestors.
So they're outcasts in the afterlife too?
Yes. It's why, no matter the crime, banishing someone is so devastating.
That's a fascinating take on death. I've noticed your people say listen for the storm. What does that mean?
It's literal, though I guess it doesn't make much sense to someone who doesn't live on the steppes.
Is it any storm? Or the one storm to end them all?
Not everything is about the end of the world. Storms can form quickly on the steppes, often without warning unless you're paying attention. You do not want to be out when a storm is giving the steppes its namesake.
There's something I don't understand. Your people seem to worship Sheogdead, and yet you want to stop your god from ending the world?
Well, it's not quite how you imagine. We don't pray to Sheogdead to save our sick or bless the hunt. It's more of a godlike entity, neither benevolent nor malicious. We worship Sheogdead in the same way we respect a force of nature.
You respect something that wants to devour all life?
Of course. Have you never been in awe of a powerful storm or a raging fire? It is the same. But just because we respect its power and purpose doesn't necessarily mean we desire it.
I guess I never thought of it that way.
It seems not many outside the Aliani do. Maybe if more people understood... never mind.
How does your society work?
You mean the structure? Well, you know there's the chieftain. We also have the wise women, our elders. And then there's everyone else.
What about the people who are banished from the tribe?
Well, as you said, they're banished, so they're no longer considered Aliani. Not really.
But they're born Aliani. Just because they're no longer part of the tribe doesn't make them foreign.
Well, think of it this way. Someone who's made outcast has broken one of our laws and has betrayed what made them Aliani.
But who defines what is Aliani? What if beliefs and laws change? Can they change?
They could, theoretically, but our laws haven't changed in generations. They do not bend like the steppes' grass.
I see. Are there other tribes like yours on the steppes?
No, just us. At least as far as we know. There have been times when our hunters had to venture farther out into the steppes, but they've never encountered anyone besides the occasional bandit.
That doesn't mean they don't exist.
True, but according to our histories as well, we are the only tribe.
Why are there only wise women, no men?
It's an old tradition. From what I understand, in the early days of the tribe, only men were allowed to hunt. Not many men lived long enough to become elders.
So shouldn't the customs be updated if the original reason is no longer true?
I suppose it could, but some roots grasp so deep that they can't be dug up. I don't think the elder men would even agree to be wise men.
Interesting. Who is Kaiawu?
Me? Why do you want to know?
I find myself wondering about you. So I'd like to get to know you better.
Oh, I see. Okay. What would you like to know?
You mentioned your mother when we first met. May I ask what happened to her?
Oh, she joined the ancestors several years ago. A sickness swept through the village.
That's terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. It hurt for a long time. One day she was fine, and then a moon later, she was gone. I don't know about you, but to me, my parents were invincible. Realizing that someone who was a constant presence your whole life could just be gone. It took me a long time to be at peace with that.
I know exactly what you mean. You believe they will be there forever, even as you grow up and realize the world doesn't work that way.
Yeah, exactly. You know, my father would say I'm a lot like her.
How so?
She was never satisfied with what was on the surface. She challenged him to think beyond tradition for tradition's sake. My father would say she would gladly dig up the steps if it revealed Fiara's heart.
She sounds a lot different than most Aliani.
She was. She was good for my father that way. Anyway, that was her. Let's talk about something else.
Are you close with anyone in your village?
Well, there's my father, and one of the wise women, Yalina, liked to bake these...
No, I mean close.
Oh, you mean like sexually? No, I'm not in a relationship with anyone. Why do you ask?
No reason really. I just wanted to know if there was any competition.
Competition? No competition there. Can we speak of something else?
Things must have been different for you, being the chieftain's son.
Maybe in some ways. We don't revere our leaders like your people do with your queen. People have great respect for my father, but it's the same as being a skilled tracker or an eagle-eyed gatherer.
Really? You're saying others didn't treat you differently, even though one day you'll take over as chieftain?
No, they have no reason to. If you prove yourself skilled and dedicated to the people, your word is respected as much as the wise women or chieftain. Why seek favor with one voice when you can have your own?
It's an interesting way of doing things.
Your ways are just as intriguing as they are different.
What was growing up on the steppes like?
Well, the Howling Steppes has its name for a reason. Between the storms that roll through and the constant search for food, it can be a pretty bleak place. That said, I don't know that I'd wish for anything else. I remember the feasts we'd have to honor a special occasion. The whole village devoted days to cooking just for one extravagant meal.
That sounds like a lot of fun. How are things normally?
For a child? Pretty boring.
That's all I wanted to know.
Sure.
Thanks for the chat.
Of course. Listen for the storm. And that's it. My people believe that once Jakku has been set into motion, nothing can be done to stop it. I intend to prove them wrong.
That is commendable. So, according to your father, Sheog Dead has chosen 4 corrupted to lead it into the world. Is that correct?
Yes.
And he, the Aliani that is, believe that even stopping these corrupted cannot stop the prophecy from coming true.
Yes. You cannot stop the lightning when you hear the thunder.
I don't understand. If only a corrupted can open the gate, why wouldn't neutralizing all of them stop the prophecy?
It's hard to understand if you're not Aliani. I may be wrong, but it seems to me that you outsiders believe strongly in the idea of changing one's fate through actions. We Aliani believe that us Shaperkin are ultimately powerless. We're subject to patterns, forces beyond our understanding. Love, disease, birth, death. We have no control over these things. And the most dominant of those patterns is Jakku. Trying to resist Jakku is like trying to resist death. You can struggle and struggle, but ultimately you're subject to its nature. So the best you can do is to accept it.
What an inspirational way to view the world.
As I said, I intend to prove them wrong. You Nortandians have proven twice that the omens of Jakku can be broken. You defeated Lacane and stopped the plague. In my opinion, that's also our best chance. We need to identify the remaining 3 corrupted and neutralize them. Make sure they can't serve Sheog Dead any longer.
And how do we identify them?
If I may, we already know one of them, don't we? The leader of those rogue dark elves, the woman with the mask.
Well, there's no way to be sure, but after what you've told me, yes, very likely so.
We will assume she is one of them for the time being. That leaves us with 2 more to find, and 3 more to neutralize. Very well. This is more than I had hoped for.
So, we need to look for other cults that worship Sheog Dead.
I'm afraid it's not that simple. A corrupted might not even know he or she serves Sheog Dead's purpose. With that masked woman and Rondar Lacane, it was obvious. It might not be for the other 2.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that, according to the scrolls, some corrupted don't even know they are. And that the ways in which they serve Jakku are diverse. Wars, famines, maybe even something as simple as being at the right place at the right time. It's an enigma.
That doesn't make it any easier. Even if all this about Jakku and Corrupted is true, how are we gonna find the other 2? Kaiawu said it himself. Even with the masked woman, we can't be certain.
And therein lies the problem.
Actually, I might know a way, but I need to give it some thought first.
Do that. I will think on the matter too. In the meantime, there is still work to be done before we can restore the mosaic. Let me know once you've looked into all the trails.
Yes, General?
Hey, just checking in. Wanted to see how you're doing.
Fine. Thank you.
That's it? If something's wrong, you can tell me.
No, it's not that. I never thought I'd see beyond the Howling Steppes. It's strange.
What do you mean?
I knew it would be different, but not this different. Like here in Greyfell, there are so many people crammed together. The walls feel like a basket collecting and trapping everything. And it's so loud. How does anyone stand it?
The walls make people feel safe. After the wars, who can blame them?
I guess. Although I don't know if I feel any safer with this many people breathing down my neck.
I imagine the Howling Steppes must be very different. What's it like living there?
Nothing like this.
That's extremely vague. You're avoiding the question.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I'm not used to conversing with outsiders. It's hard to know what to say and what not to.
We're not that different from you, actually. Aside from the preference for walls.
Yes, I see your point. It's just that we're taught from an early age to only trust our own people. Outsiders are to be avoided.
Were we the first outsiders you met?
No, others have come before. They all received my father's warm welcome.
What made us different?
You needed information about Sheog Dead. And, to be honest, we needed the help. It was, as my people call it, a Velden trade. Fair.
Is this related to what your father said? That outsiders only bring suffering to the world?
Yes, although it's not personal. He means that outsiders haven't renounced violence the way the Aliani have.
So the Aliani are better than everyone else?
I didn't say that, but we're not driving the cart off the cliff, so to speak.
In that case, I'm grateful you put your trust in me.
Well, the truth is, General, I don't know you. You seem to mean well, so far, but I'd be a fool to believe in words alone.
I hope you can see me as more than just an outsider or a general, Kaiawu. Maybe we could spend more time together.
Oh, it's this option.
Oh, yes, I'd like that. Anyway, you must be busy. Let us speak again some other time.
Did you hear back from the Black Company's leader yet? We still need to find information on those rogue sleepers.
Good of you to ask. Yes, I have. And he agreed to meet us. We can make for Cahlabrok as soon as you want. Oh, never mind.
What is it?
I wanted to ask you for a favor. There's someone I want to pay a visit to when we get to Cahlabrok.
Sure.
Someone I have a score to settle with.
Oh.
Who? What did he do?
She. Remember how I told you that I lost my family to the Bloodburn? I just found out that... Well, I have reason to believe that their death could have been avoided. By her.
It's a revenge thing.
I promise you that there'll be no bloodshed. At least not if I can help it.
All right, but we must be quick about it. We can't afford to lose time.
I know. Thank you. Let me know when we can set out.
Ugh. Why is everything still spinning?
What do you think of the people who've joined us?
This again? Who do you mean?
Kaiawu.
He reminds me a bit of my brother. Questioning why things are the way they are. And I see the way he looks at you. I don't even think he knows it yet, or what to do about it.
What are you talking about?
Don't play dense with me now.
Right.
See you later, Rara.
See ya.
Okay. Nothing more to talk to her now. But we got ourselves the talkie episode done. And then we can continue on the world map with another little encounter. Until next time, like and subscribe, and ta-ta!